Duel at Dawn going to be map number 1. This is a Cake favorite. I don't know about favorite, but it certainly is a map that they generally perform well on.
Oh, it's very close quarters, and it definitely rewards drawn-out engagements. There's a lot of things to bump into.
I've said this before. Overwatch, back when they played a lot more, they were really good at the initial engagement and couldn't actually follow through. Cake was the opposite. They can't engage worth crap. But if they actually manage to drag the engagement out for 30 seconds, then they win.
Yeah,
generally.
The longer an engagement goes on, the more it seems to tip into Cake's favor. And wow, we have a quick charge. Ships are already engaging.
Gonna have to do this quick. We have the X's. It's a blender fish. Then we have the whatchamacallit, which is a hwacha fish. Other side, the chariot. It is
Carrot build.
Yep.
And then we have the XX ship, which is a blender fish. That was nice and quick.
Yep,
No
nice and quick.
details. Just what you need to know very quickly. Whatchamacallit getting a good watch off on the chariot. Chariot loses everything but nope, never mind. Chariot loses literally everything.
Literally everything but balloon and armor. And now the Gatling is looking to make the armor a thing of the past. There's no way the chariot can get out of the way of this. Armor down. Where's the hwacha? It's reloading. It's ready.
Armor came up very, very, very quickly on the chariot. That pilot was well aware that without engines he couldn't do much, and he was helping assist repair that hull. I'd be willing to bet money. X is getting the ship down. He has definitely come out top of this Blunderfish battle. Good Banshee's sinking into that balloon, and he is just stomping them right now. X is out of balloon, out of hull, losing very quickly. Chariot, still no engines. Whatchamacallit has absolutely locked him down. A little bit of bad timing, though, with the Gatling back and forth.
Oh, the X ship is stuck. There's no way it can get out of this, I don't think. Banshee going to just expedite its trip to the river Styx.
Yeah, X has got on top of the ship and was just able to very advantageously play the role of the Blunderfish against the Blunderfish. And it's just a matter of who shoots first, I think, is the determining factor of that engagement.
There we go. Armor coming back up on the chariot. They're trying to get it back up. Whatchamacallit threatening to finish it off. Armor comes back up just in time. Drops again.
That hwacha just chipped it out. And the X's and the whatchamacallit managed to win that engagement without a scrap of perma lost. What was that about Cake not being able to start engagements?
They actually got a decent engagement that time. I attribute that to the disabling power of these goldfish.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and they definitely paired the ships with what they needed to be paired with. The hwacha was on the Pyramidion, and the Blunderfish was on the other Blunderfish. If we had seen the Blunderfish on that Pyramidion and the hwacha on the Blunderfish, it would have gone very differently, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of a funny way to look at it, but if one Blunderfish comes out on top of the other, you just try to separate them, and that's what Cake does really well, I think. They managed to separate engagements very well.
Mm-hmm. And just the longer it goes on, the more chip damage that is done. The fire starts really building. Chem spray cycles are harder and harder to keep up when components keep getting damaged and going down. And then, once the chems drop, then it's all over. Chariot's making an aggressive charge against the X's this time. And the whatchamacallit is just turning in now. Hwacha's going a little bit wide. Sinking very well now. One engine is gone. All of the guns are gone. X's looks like it's just going to duck right out of this one.
Hey, here we go. XX ship. Ugh, that name. Moving in on the whatchamacallit as the whatchamacallit overshoots the chariot. Oh, not quite. It's got its port gun in arc, but what's it really going to be able to do with that? Everyone's repairing.
Heavy ram. Whatchamacallit. X's gets a really, really solid ram. And then this is the engagement that Cake doesn't want. The Blunderfish is on the hwacha, and the Pyramidion is on the Blunderfish, and it's just squishing him up against the wall. X goes down this time around. Whatchamacallit is not in very good, situation himself. He is quickly running out of space to retreat to, grinding up against the ground. No hull, no balloon, and all it's going to take is a couple more shots to finish him off.
There goes.
And this time, it's what I said. The engagement was on the opposite ships, and it went better for the Rydr's Romans. The Roman Riders. The cavalry.
That was really strong, and now we're on an even playing field. Two for
Yeah,
two, no permahull damage on either. Oh, the mini X's. Spawns in first, Watcha spawns in as well. Gonna take a minute for everyone to get to their stations, though.
and
That's
is
just kind
that
of one of the facts of life for a goldfish.
is that going to be detrimental as the X's already loses a weapon and their balloon takes a lot of damage. Cruising right past the chariot, though, moving in on the ship. Whatchamacallit is backing up with the gun still in arc, but as
Ooh.
soon as that Hwacha comes up, it keeps just getting shot out.
And they're going for the ram. Look at
Oh,
this! Armor
that
goes
was
down.
solid.
Oh!
That was a great ram. Pin them up against the ground, and now the X's is duping out against the chariot, which is not what he wants at all. Chariot has got his longer range side going. That Artemis Hades is just pounding into the poor X's as he tries to escape.
Yep. Hades landing decently well. The X's is going to be in a lot of trouble. Here comes the ram. Goes in, armor's back up just in time, and it actually sends the XX ship careening backwards. Doesn't matter. Carrot using that long range side to great effectiveness.
Whatchamacallit spawns in behind, finally gets what he needs to get in on. A Hwacha off on the chariot, but it is much less effective than it needs to be. Takes out only an engine, but I imagine it really damaged those guns. Whatchamacallit cruising up and over these ships, and this is just not a very good engagement. The Roman Riders need only one more kill to finish this off, and the X's has not spawned back in yet, only now, and it's going to take them a second for everyone to get to the positions they need to get to.
Here we go. Hades going into the Whatchamacallit. Artemis as well. This is brutal. This is not a position you want to be in. However, the Hwacha has managed to come in close. Hades can't quite take out that armor anymore.
Oh, that bounce actually gets him out of arc of that Artemis, and he is closing it now. If he has a tar barrel, now is the time to use it. However, he has lost hull. That Artemis is beginning to hook in, and just a couple more shots, and Whatchamacallit is out of here. Chariot just got that long-range side bearing in. However, there is another engagement going on with the X's and the ship getting the better of that engagement as well. X's has got to pull something crafty to get out of this one.
Yeah, it's got to do it fast, though. The Whatchamacallit in a lot of trouble. Those Artemises and Hades continuing to bear down on the Hwacha. There we go. It's going to get behind a rib, but this is going to free up the chariot to come in and help its ally, the many X's.
Yeah, the many X's is just not in a good position right now. Every time the balloon comes up, it's just getting shot again by the XX ship. His only hope is for the Whatchamacallit to come in and save him, but I don't know if he'll be able to do it quick enough. X's is losing balloon again, losing hull, getting flamed out. And Whatchamacallit is coming in for a ram, does not knock him off target as much as he needed to, and the chariot is just coming into Goomba Stomp and finish this one
Crunch.
off.
That was a pretty Goomba Stomp.
That was just bopped him right on the head, finished that one off, and that was, I mean, it's exactly what I said at the beginning. The Roman Riders were then able to match up the ships that they needed to get a better counter. The Blenderfish was on the Hwachafish, and the Pyramidion was on the Blenderfish. So that was, I mean, these two ships, these two teams brought counters for each other, but only when matched up properly. And I mean, Cake got the first matchup right, but then the next three were to the Roman Riders.